why she ate half the fruit snacks. I don't know. It's another dreary day in Pennsylvania. Why is it that whenever I work, it's beautiful outside, and then when I work, it's dreary or when I don't work, it's dreary and cloudy out. So annoying. But I feel a lot better today than yesterday because I was so so tired. Like this work week and taking her to Oregon Dairy and my workout routine, everything just kicked my butt and caught up to me this week. Yesterday I took a nap. I went to bed early. I feel much better today. And I don't have to, I thought I was going to have to pick up my husband's grandma, but I guess my mother-in-law is going to do that, so I don't have to worry. I still have to get her ready to go. We need to leave here by like 2 hours, so I got to get her up soon so she doesn't wake up for her recital. And dumbass, or I guess I can't say, but idiot me, excuse my French, idiot me I screwed up the time for her. I'm so mad at myself. I screwed up the time for her practice and for her practice recital and took her too late because I thought she didn't go until 6. That's what my mother-in-law said, and that's what I saw when I looked at the I looked at the sheet. It's very confusing because there's so many classes, and she's in Act 2. Well, she was actually in Session 1, even though she was in Act 2. So I read the email wrong and thought, oh, she doesn't go on till 6, because that's when Session 2 starts. And I was like, hello. I was like, well, that's kind of late. I did think that's kind of late, but that's what my mother-in-law thought. And the year before, she went on really late, so I'm like, oh, I guess she's going on late. No, that was for the older kids. Even though she's in Act 2, I guess she was supposed to show up for Session 1. So I screwed that up, but she got to at least see, I feel terrible. She got to at least see the stage, and we know where she's going and all that. But she didn't get to practice with the rest of her classmates. I think I'm the only one who, of course, screwed that up. The only mom, of course, who did. But, you know, between my ADHD and I have so much going on with my job, especially this week, I had to train somebody. I didn't even know I was going to be training them until they came, which was not nice that they didn't warn me ahead of time. It's just been a hectic week. But today, I slept good, so hopefully we won't have any mishaps. And hopefully Daisy will not get scared to go on stage. I am very scared to be like, I get that way too. Like, I get anxious performing. But I've gotten better as I've gotten older with that. But like this, no problem, no worries. But performing in front of a stage or something, terrifying. With ADHD, you overthink everything, and I feel like that gives you performance anxiety. It's common. just watched my favorite show. I'm into season 4 of it, and it's still just as good. It's an older show, but I've gotten into it lately. The writing's great for that show, and I love that it's like nostalgic because it's not from today's world, so it's like, I don't know, there's something more escaping about that. Like if it's not, you know, people on their phones or whatever, which is our world now. So I'm enjoying that. And I posted on my other platform, TikTok. I do need to link it so people can go to that. But I did that. I'm trying to post more regularly on there too. But I realized like I have to be careful. I had to re-record it like 4 times because I've already gotten in trouble with TikTok and I don't need to get in trouble again for like word usage or whatever. You have to be careful what you say. But I feel like it's important to talk about because it's like not cool what's going on, I think. Hello, how are you? I should turn on the light. I can hardly see. Hardly see because it's like there's no sunshine today. It's all gloomy here. Gloomy in Pennsylvania. That's what I should title my YouTube page. Kind of like that Always Sunny in Philadelphia because it's never sunny in Philadelphia. And I'm kind of a gloomy soul. Instead of coffee talk, I should change my title. I think that's a better title. Gloomy in Pennsylvania. They probably can't say Always Sunny in Philadelphia because that's, 1, I'm not in Philadelphia, and 2, that's probably copyrighted. I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it as coffee talk. Why is there so many dishes? I haven't even cooked lately. There always is a million dishes. Like, okay, there's a million dishes. Even as a kid, though, we always had to do the dishes, so. But I had more siblings to help me out. Daisy's lucky. She doesn't have to do yet, but we're gonna be. She needs to start doing chores and cleaning up after herself. But as of right now, she's living the life. Yes, I live in America. The US of A. It's the only place I've ever lived. Probably the only place I'll ever live either, because I wanted to do study abroad when I was younger, but I couldn't figure out how to get the finances together for that, so I don't know. I never did it. I wish I would have, because everybody I know who did it enjoyed the experience. But I was very immature when I was younger too, so maybe it wouldn't have been good for me to do as far as safety goes. I was very naive and immature when I was younger. I drank all my coffee. I'm debating getting more coffee or not. It's always the dilemma with me. To have more caffeine or not. I had 2 things of coffee yesterday and it didn't do crap. I fell asleep. She built up a tolerance. Fell asleep and I think I was just hitting a wall. At a certain point you hit a wall and caffeine's not going to do anything. Sorry for the weird angle. I was so tired I didn't charge my phone or anything. I just fell asleep. So I'm charging my phone now so I can record her. I don't know. Well, I don't know if we're allowed to record her recital, but just so I can get pictures and everything. I gotta get a shower soon. Once I'm off here, I need to shower. Get myself ready, then get her ready. Somebody came in my live yesterday. Thank you for the likes. And was like, worst stream ever. That cracks me up. Like, you're watching. If it's the worst stream, then get out of my stream. Like, what are you, 10 years old? Probably. Who knows? I watched the new Mufasa movie on Disney. My daughter didn't really care for it, but I thought it was excellent. If you're looking for a movie to watch. I thought it was very good. Dramatic, but good. I finished the Call Her Alex documentary. That was pretty good. I started cleaning out my car. I didn't finish, so definitely need to clean today if I can. We're supposed to go to game night tonight, though, so I don't know how much time I will have to get cleaning between her recital and that, which I kind of forgot about. I don't know why. It hasn't been a hectic week or anything. It totally has been. Let me tell you, people who work in healthcare, we earn every single dollar we make. Let me just tell you that. Especially the nurses and aides. Nurses, aides, janitors, all the people that don't get paid enough. We earn that money through blood, sweat, and tears, honey. Blood, sweat, and tears. It ain't for the faint of heart, let me tell you. Like, do I go to become a like a nurse practitioner? But I don't think so. That's what some people do, but I don't know. I've seen what doctors do, and no offense, but I don't know that that's for me. I don't know about that. And if you have hesitations, you probably shouldn't, because it's a huge commitment. Huge. Even just being a nurse is a huge commitment, so. I don't know that that would, not that I don't necessarily think I couldn't do it, it's just for my happiness and mental health, I don't know that that's where I want to go with my life. Live 17 minutes. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. My phone is like, is it not charging or what? Ugh. It wasn't charging. That makes me so mad. I have it at this weird angle to charge. And but it's not. If it's not 100% on just so, then it doesn't even charge. I'm so irritated right now. Great, I thought it was charging. It wasn't. You gotta make sure it's charged, especially today. I feel like the harder you try to do something, how it goes for me, the worse outcome I have. Like, don't try so hard, and you will not fail. That makes sense. But if you try too hard, you're gonna fail. That's how my life goes. I was watching one of my favorite TikTokers yesterday. I guess she's a social influencer because she has an Instagram too and everything. Anyway, very sad to hear. She's been trying to have a second child. She deals with infertility like I did for years and years. They've done several IVFs and unfortunately still without success. So her and her husband are taking a break, which you really need to when you're going through IVF, going through fertility. You've got to take breaks for your mental health, for you and your partner's mental health. And sometimes you got to take a permanent break and go, look, this is not working, and I'm done. That's where we're at now. But I feel so bad for her. She's younger than me though, so she might. There's a lot of factors that come into play, like how long have you been doing it? How many? I had to have 2 surgeries, and I had to have 2 miscarriages at home. I mean, it was a lot. And we'd already been through 4 years of trying to have our daughter. And we were blessed to have her. But at a certain point, it's like, I just want to move on to the next chapter. Like, life is not meant to be miserable. And, so and I'm coming to acceptance with that. It's very hard to sometimes realize the life that you wanted is not going to happen. But, think that's where I am right now, is coming to that. And being okay with that. And realizing, like, you know, maybe I wasn't meant to have 4 kids. Maybe I was just meant to have my beautiful, wonderful daughter, and that's okay. And of course, after you have one, though, you're like, I would have done this different, or maybe you still have those feelings even after you've had multiple kids, like, where you're like, I would do this different now. So that's hard to make it accepting, is like, oh, if I knew she was going to be our only kid, I would have done things a little differently, but you can't predict the future, so I wish I would have maybe not gone back to school when she was little, but I can't take that back. And, you know, my job at the time was making me do it. So I had so much pressure on me from my job at the time. There's so much pressure on me from a lot of angles. And there was so much changes, it was hard to really soak in and really enjoy the first couple years of motherhood with her. So I wish, but it was what it was. Like, we had to move across country. I had to go back to school. We had to uproot our lives. Like, I had to figure out, like, my ADHD, because I wasn't diagnosed till I had her. Like, I had to figure out how to treat mine. So it was just a lot all happening when she was a baby that I wish wouldn't have been happening at the same time. But life never stops just because you have a kid. Like, even if we had a kid now, it's great to fantasize about what it'd be like, but the reality is, like, I would probably be working all the time as a nurse, and I wouldn't have a lot of time with the children, unfortunately, because the cost of daycare is so much, and she'd have to be in daycare probably. He or she, whatever. So it's great to fantasize, like, oh, it'd be perfect with another kid. But there's always, like, life always happens. And all you can do is just learn from it and try to be better now that you know they grow up really fast, and nothing's more important than being there for your children as they're growing up. So it's all you can do. That's where I'm at right now. Because, okay, I can't erase what happened or whatever, but I can't get that time back with her. And some of it was just pressure I put on myself as a first-time mom. Like, everything has to be perfect, and I have to be super organized. Like, who cares? The most important thing is that you spend time with them, not that everything's like, okay, I screwed up her recital time. Okay, big deal. At least I took her there, and at least I've been there for her every practice. Like, if you miss one, the rehearsal's important, but more important is that she's been going every week, so she'll know what to do up on that stage for the most part. She knows the dance. It's just, oh, you're on a stage now. So that's what's more important is the day-to-day, not the one big event or whatever. You know, only having one kid, there is definitely benefits that is not often talked about, but should be. Like, there's financial benefits for sure. I get to spend more time with her. I get more attention spent to her. she can do whatever she wants pretty much. Like, my husband was an only child, and all the money and attention is focused on them. There's bad sides too, but there's pros and cons to both. I grew up with 6 children. So there wasn't much time or money left for me. Do I love my siblings though? Of course, and that's something special. I was just worried how it would affect her, but she's healthy, she's happy, she's a great kid. You can be close with other people in your family other than your siblings. Like your parents and your grandparents, and like she has much more involved grandparents than I did, because my grandparents were, there was a big generational gap, because my grandparents were actually children of the Great Depression. They were older, and they passed away like several years ago. And we weren't that close. We didn't live close to them. Super close. We lived in the same state, but not super close geographically. And they were just from like a totally different era. They were in their 90s when I was in my like 20s. Like, it still cracks me up to this day. It's not that they didn't try. Like, my grandpa definitely tried, but there was definitely a disconnect. Like, he would still send me, I think that's hilarious, and I love that he did that, but he would send me Barbie cards when I was like in my mid-20s, and I'm like, Grandpa, I don't like, no offense that I'm not into that anymore, like, I'm a young adult, but I guess in his mind I was still his grandbaby, and I'm sure I'll always be his grandbaby, but it was hard sometimes to connect to them because they came from such a different time and everything was so different, because they had my mom late in life. And then my mom had me later in her life, so there was big generational gaps. Just even the way they talked was so different than how I talked. Like, it was hard to find commonality. But versus my daughter, her grandparent is much closer. She's only in her 60s. So, and we live a lot closer to her grandparents. She's even close to her great-grandma, because her great-grandma's in her 80s. But when the age is so far apart, it's hard to have such a close relationship, I think, sometimes. And then, you know, they passed away. They lived into their 90s, but they passed away many years ago. So I only got to know them for so long. They never got to meet Daisy or anything. So Daisy's blessed in other ways, so I think she'll be okay. Now, if she wasn't close with her grandparents and didn't have some family support, then yes, that would be hard. But she doesn't. She gets to see her cousins here, and that's why we chose to move back. It wasn't because we wanted to. It was because we thought it would be better for Daisy growing up with the family, and family's important. Having support is important. Especially when you have 2 full-time working parents who work. My husband always works overtime. I work late hours. I work long shifts. So when I'm here, it's great, but I'm also sometimes exhausted because my shifts are 12 hours long. So it's not exactly like I'm ready to rock and roll sometimes on my days off. Sometimes I'm still recovering from work the day before. Something they don't tell you necessarily before you become a nurse is like, yeah, you only work 3 days. Guess what? You're exhausted at least one of your days off. you're not functioning. You're pretty much on the couch. Because we were not meant to work 12-hour shifts. Do I like it though? Would I change it? I would not change it because it works for me and my ADHD. But is it healthy? Probably not the healthiest thing. Probably not. Does it give me more time with Daisy? Yes. So I'll take it. Okay, let me go. Well, I'm probably going to get off here because I've been on for 30 minutes. But I just feel bad for that. I not feel bad, but I have empathy for this influencer. And, you know, everybody in her live is like, don't worry, God is good. You'll get that second child. Sometimes the second child doesn't happen, and sometimes that's okay. Or it happens, and, you know, like in our case, we've had 4 children who did not make it. So it's not that God isn't good. It's sometimes you are not meant to have as big a family as you would like or dreamed of. Like sometimes, and if people, sometimes it's more harmful telling that to somebody. I had somebody tell me after a 3rd miscarriage, oh, just keep trying. Just, your body can only take so much. Your mental state can only take so much. I pretty much knew with the 4th one, I was like, I can't handle this mentally anymore. My husband was already there, but I was, and then when we found out it was a molar, that was the worst part. I have to go because I can't even talk about it. It's too much. That one hurt, I think, probably the most. Our last one. That sealed the deal for me, the last one especially. But yeah, so telling somebody, oh, giving them like false hope almost, it's like sometimes that's not helpful when you've had repeated loss or repeated infertility after all these IVF transfers. Sometimes you just have to be like, I'm sorry, and just be there for that person, I think. Because sometimes it's not meant to be, and that's okay. Life goes on. Sometimes there's no rainbow baby. Sometimes there's just a rainbow in the rain. That's alright. Or rainbow. Yeah. Rainbow right after the rain. And that the good part is you don't have to stay stuck in that if you're done. If you're done with that, it's okay to move on. That's what I've learned. So I'm getting there. Anyways. Gloomy Pennsylvania. It's always sunny here. No. On that note, I should go get ready for her recital. And yeah, thanks for joining me. If you like this live, if you like somebody cry and be vulnerable, you found the influencer for you. Okay, to follow. All right, bye guys.